The beachgoers had no clue what or where they came from, and aquarium biologists are so stumped they don't even have a name for them.
From slimy blobs identical to an alien to fish with human heads people find near oceans. The ocean is full of strange surprises beyond swimming. So stay with me to witness the creepiest creatures that came out onto beaches and shocked the whole world. Deep sea serpent. A family went on a beach trip near the coast of Mexico. They saw a 2-meter-long snake-like fish and started to guess how it came to the shore in such a critical condition. They speculated that it was probably washed up due to shock waves in the ocean. After it became lifeless, it was brought to fishing experts by the people to know the root cause. They revealed it was an oarfish, and the cause of this deep-sea dweller's unusual demise was krill, as a lot of them were found inside the fish's stomach. Blobby creature. In April 2023, near Ozark Lake, a blobby creature was spotted crawling on the floor of a house. Its body seemed to be breathing from different parts, while its legs were more like stretchy additions to its blobbiness. It was like a big slab of cow fat that somehow came alive and started moving around. House residents thought it was a zombie placenta thing hunting for something to attack. No one really knew what that freaky, shapeless chunk was, but finding such a creepy, crawling thing scared the residents. Mutated fish. Some fishermen were doing their regular fishing, throwing their nets into the river, but suddenly they saw a lifeless species resembling a fish from a distance. A closer look revealed that its head was similar to a human head, and its bottom half looked like a shark's body. They started wondering if it could be a mermaid or a mutant of any shark. A debate arose among the fishermen about what to do with the mutant, as they certainly couldn't eat that. After a lot of discussions, they decided that instead of discarding it, they should preserve that strange mutant in a museum for the public. Trapped creature. Beachgoers in California saw a creature that was in desperate need of rescue. They were enjoying a relaxing day at the beach when a dolphin got stuck in a fisherman's net. The poor dolphin had to come to the shore to seek help. As soon as the people spotted the whale, they rushed to help it. They gently removed the fishing net that kept its mouth completely shut and made sure it was good to go. Once untangled, they gently guided the grateful dolphin back to its natural habitat, where it swam away safe and sound. Tiny human. People usually look for things like shells, rocks, pebbles, fish, and sometimes crabs on the beach. But this time, they encountered a creepy creature. The people at the Australian beach saw something washed up on the shore that looked like a tiny human. It had little arms and legs, and its whole body was covered in a slimy liquid. The more they looked at it, the weirder it seemed. It was even moving a little bit and seemed to be breathing. After failing to identify the tiny human, it was handed over to the scientists, who decided to keep it alive in a special tank for further study. Egg yolk jellyfish. 2 medical students came on a beach to do some marine biology research when they saw a strange yellow slimy thing spread out on the sand. As they looked closer, the students realized it was the remains of a rare, deep-sea creature called the egg yolk jellyfish. With 95% of its body made of water, it has a slimy appearance. Though its mouth was hidden underneath, the yolk-like organ was spread all over its body, indicating the jellyfish had expired. Being medical students, the friends saw this as a unique opportunity to collect samples to get valuable insights into its anatomy and genetics. They carefully gathered portions of the jellyfish remains and preserved them properly. Queensland groper. A massive, creepy fish was seen on a beach in Bundaberg, Australia. A fisherman discovered the fish and posted pictures online, asking for help identifying it. The next day, the fish had mysteriously vanished. Nearly 2 meters long and weighing 330 pounds, it left him, an experienced fisherman, completely confused. He initially thought it might be a groper. Some thought it was a coelacanth, an ancient fish rediscovered in 1938. Officials, like Queensland Boating and Fisheries Patrol Officer Jeffrey Ferguson, suspected it was a Queensland groper. Massive humpback. In 2022, Zach Piller and his dad Doug went fishing on a boat off the coast of New Jersey. Zach was recording their fish catches when suddenly a huge number of little fish jumped out of the water. They were trying to escape from something big underneath the boat. It was a massive humpback whale that came bursting out of the water right next to their boat.
Oh! I got that on video! You got your fish on?
They were utterly in shock to see such a giant whale so close. After they came back to their senses, they started laughing at their reaction and felt lucky to see such a huge whale so close. Giant squid. A group of friends surfing in a river got into a funny fight with a big squid. One of them saw a huge giant squid in the water. He tried to catch this squid with a rope. His friend filmed everything, but the giant squid did not want to be caught. It wrapped its long tentacles around the surfboard and pulled really hard, trying to drag the surfer into the water. All the friends watched and laughed as the man and the squid played a game of tug of war, each one trying to pull the other. In the end, the giant squid was too strong, and the man had to give up because he could not win against the powerful squid. Sperm whales. A heartbreaking yet fascinating scene happened on a beach in Lincolnshire, UK. 3 huge, lifeless sperm whales washed up on the beach near Skegness. Many people came to look at them and to take pictures. Some people felt for the mammals, thinking it may have been a whole whale family. Others thought it was amazing to see such big sea creatures up close.
It's so sad when you see big animals like this on the beach, and to think that there's a whole family being washed up as well. It's horrible to see, and it's not nice.
Scientists thought that these whales were part of a larger group that got stuck in the shallow waters nearby, which caused them to end up like this. It's a reminder of the troubles whales can face in the ocean. Sea monster. A massive, lifeless animal was discovered on Ainsworth Beach near Liverpool by a sweeper while cleaning the shore. It was huge, with legs and a rib cage. Freakily, some bones looked precisely cut, while other parts appeared burnt. Yet it had no smell, and no creatures were feeding on it. Not even the dog with the sweeper showed interest in the meat. Nobody knew what this creature was or how it arrived on the beach. The precise bone cuts and burns were similar to cattle mutilation cases. Stuck dolphins. Witness the incredible rescue. On March 5th, 2012, in the town of Arraial do Cabo, Brazil, some people on the beach saw a whole group of dolphins had gotten stuck on the shore. Luckily, the people were there to help the dolphins. The kind people quickly formed a plan to rescue the poor dolphins. They gently guided the dolphins back into the ocean water where they could swim freely again. Scientists shared their thoughts on this. When one dolphin or whale gets stuck on a beach, it means the dolphin was sick. But when a group gets stuck together, it must be due to a disturbance in Earth's magnetic field or mass panic. Sea of red crabs. This is an island that turns completely red once a year, blanketed by millions of tiny crimson creatures on an incredible journey. Each year, around 40 million red crabs living in the forests of Christmas Island make their way to the ocean to breed. To protect the crabs from certain risks, the island closes roads and has volunteers guide the crabs. After weeks of migration, the females finally reach the coast to release up to 100,000 eggs each into the ocean.
This is what it's all about. So there's probably about 100,000 eggs in here. The females tried to release it into the ocean, but they didn't quite get it because they're up on the cliff.
The baby crab larvae that hatch from the eggs spend weeks swimming in the sea, and the few babies that survive make their hard journey back to the island as tiny red crabs. This makes the whole island into an amazing sea of red crabs. Giant skull. A huge skull was found in Flagler Beach, sparking curiosity among experts about its origins. There was a massive 15-foot skull and upper jaw lying on the sand. Initial examination by biologists suggested it might be from a humpback whale, but further verification was needed from whale experts. This skull was transported to the Georgia Aquarium Station in Marineland for detailed research. Scientists carefully analyzed its DNA. Collaborating with whale specialists, they aimed to identify the exact species. The discovery impacted a nearby restaurant. An overflow of customers was seen, despite the unpleasant smell from the remains. Alien skull. A skull resembling an alien was found on a beach, sparking excitement among the locals. This skull, with its unique shape and features, drew the attention of local authorities and scientists. It was taken to a nearby research facility for examination. They compared it with known species, trying to determine its origin. Its examination suggested it might have been buried in the sand for years before being exposed by a storm. The mysterious skull has captured the public's imagination, fueling endless debates and speculations. Giant squid. On the 7th of June in South Africa, some beachgoers saw a nearly intact giant squid, measuring 13.7 feet and weighing at least 660 pounds, washed up in Britannia Bay.
How did that guy say 4 meters? Yeah.
They called the researchers from the Easycombe Museums in Cape Town, who swiftly collected and froze the young specimen. This giant squid carcass is invaluable for understanding how these unavailable creatures hunt and eat in the deep ocean. The expired squid provided a unique opportunity to study its DNA, length, and beak size to estimate its age and gain insights into the life of giant squids. Such discoveries help solve the secrets surrounding these creatures' behavior in their deep ocean habitats, which are difficult for scientists to observe directly. Japanese monster. After a huge tsunami hit Japan by a massive earthquake, a weird and smelly creature washed up on the beach and made people freak out. Along with all the garbage of houses and cars that got washed into the ocean, a massive pink blob-like creature, about 20 feet long, also washed up on the shore. It smelled really bad and disgusting. Some people tried using their brains and said it was probably just a deceased whale, shark, or giant squid. But others got scared and ran away screaming, thinking it was a real sea monster. That smelly pink blob from 2010 was most likely just the rotting body of a big sea animal like a whale, and not an actual monster. Beach mystery. On an Australian beach, Keppel Sands, a woman found a creepy thing. Was that a lifeless body or a new creature? She saw strange 6-foot-long remains of a body with a rib cage and spine. The head looked like a human skull with a long jaw. The hair was colored like a cow or kangaroo. It looked exactly like a mermaid shape, with a tail and all. She posted the pictures on Facebook to try and figure out what it was. A few people said it was an actual mermaid, but most others correctly said it was a dugong, an animal like a manatee that lives in our oceans. Tarball.
Can you put your hand next to it for size?
A big lump on the beach turned out to be something weird. At first, it seemed like a big tarball that had washed up on the shore, but then, when someone poked it, it shrank back and cringed up. That's when they realized there was a slimy, smooth body in the middle, about a foot long. The blob was moving in a way that made it look like it was an octopus or some kind of strange inky squid. Some people thought maybe it was a sea slug that had come onto the beach to meet its fate. If it hadn't pulled back when someone bothered it, everyone might have just thought it was a gross lump of tar. Living lump. Was it a sea monster or something else? In Malaysia in April 2024, a 20-foot-long mass of flesh washed up on Teluk Milano Beach, which freaked out the locals. Blobs like this are often just the rotten, bloated remains of big sea animals like whales, sharks, or giant squids. People came to stare at the brown and white, smelly, lifeless thing, and even took selfies with it. The Coast Guards who found that flesh called the marine workers to examine it. After proper investigation, they revealed it was probably the flesh of a whale. Despite the explanation, its weird looks kept on scaring the locals. Mexican dragon. Some hikers were walking over the mountains in a small village in Oaxaca, Mexico. They saw a huge creature lying on the ground. It was over 20 feet long and had scales all over its body. At first, they thought it was some kind of joke, but then they realized it was the bones of a dragon-like animal. The news spread quickly, and scientists from all over came to study it. After looking at it carefully, they said it was the skeleton of an ancient dragon. The discovery of a dragon has made history by being found after so many years. Creepy carcass. A video was going around showing a 20-foot-long thing that washed up on a beach in Oriental Mindoro Province, Philippines. The locals were surprised when they saw this massive carcass because they thought it might be a sign of a coming natural disaster. People came from all over just to see the mystery creature and take pictures of it. While it's still not confirmed, many people thought the creepy carcass was a whale that washed ashore. No matter what it was, the video footage sparked a lot of fear and controversy from the locals before experts could identify it. Beach Beast. At Siargao Island on January 26th, a group of friends were getting ready to go home after fishing. They smelled something really bad and yucky. They went to look for where the stinky smell was coming from. It led them to a rocky part of the beach near their boats. There, they saw a strange, hairy sea creature lying on the shore. The fishermen were very confused and didn't know what the hairy, smelly thing was. It was covered in black hair and looked really creepy. They had never seen anything like this strange creature before that washed up on their island's beach. It made them all wonder what it could possibly be. Surfing dolphins. Imagine going surfing and having some very special new friends join you to play in the waves. Some surfers were out riding the waves when they saw a few dolphins swimming. The dolphins seemed just as excited to catch the waves as those surfers. The surfers watched in wonder as those beautiful dolphins swam alongside them, jumping out of the water like they were displaying a show. It was like the dolphins and surfers were sharing the ocean playground together. For the lucky surfers, it became an amazing experience with nature. Sea leech. On the beautiful island of Koh Lanta in Thailand, beachgoers were stunned by an unusual sight. They saw a 5-inch, rubber-looking sea creature with a mini nose near the shore. It was a peachy pink color. It drew crowds of curious onlookers, all wondering what this actually was. Locals standing nearby said it was some kind of a mutated sea leech. The true identity of that creature, no one could ever know, but it sure was enough to shock everyone who saw it. Jellyfish. On a sunny day at that Australian beach, a group of friends saw a slimy creature in the sand. At first, they thought it was a jellyfish, but when they got closer, they noticed it looked different. It was purple and didn't have the usual shape of a jellyfish. They gently picked it up and put it back on the sand, watching it move a little. Not knowing what exactly it was, a jellyfish or an anemone, they decided to help and move the creature back into the water. Slowly, it began to swim away with the flow of the water. Gooey sea creature. On June 20th, at a beach in Krabi Province, Thailand, a beachgoer encountered an odd sea creature washed ashore. It was a gooey sea creature, which resembled a dark pink or purplish slime. It was stuck to a rock during a low tide. It had hundreds of dark tentacles and a slimy body that slightly moved when touched. He used a stick to check what exactly it was. The fisherman standing nearby told him it was a sea anemone, and more specifically, a magnificent anemone. They live deep inside the waters, but maybe due to some discomfort at depths, it moved up and ended up washing up on the shore. Worms cluster. A massively viral video has left millions captivated by a mysterious black creature.
So one thing like that.
The creature appeared as a cluster of black worms stuck together, sparking endless conspiracy. It had quite the resemblance to the fictional alien symbiote from Marvel's Venom. That led many to believe that Venom may have just landed on the Earth. The creature's writhing movements and weird appearance had only fueled the speculation that was going around online. Marine experts revealed it was actually a bootlace worm. This worm secretes a toxic mucus that can paralyze its predators when it's provoked. So, be careful if you ever encounter one. Whales washed ashore. On July 25th, Shane's Beach in Western Australia became the site of a heartbreaking event as 97 whales washed ashore. Some beachgoers on a night trip saw some stuck whales on the shore and called the rescue team at night. They reached there in the early morning. Overnight, half of them perished, with 56 whales found lifeless by morning. Rescuers worked tirelessly to save the remaining 46, attempting to guide them back into the water. Marine biologists were puzzled by the mass stranding and suspect that the whales' tight social bonds may be a factor. It's believed that if one whale is sick, the others might follow it and would end up with a similar fate. Sharks eating frenzy.
Dude, look at that!
In October, leaders of One Harbor Church, while on a trip at Cape Lookout National Seashore, North Carolina, saw sharks eating something wildly.
Dude, can you please send that to Christy?
The men were fishing for dinner when they encountered several sharks attacking a bunch of bluefish. Seagulls and pelicans joined the madness. For over 5 minutes, sharks swam in and out of the waves. A few of them even got stuck on the beach. They helped the stranded sharks to swim back into the water. And just like that, the day was saved by the help of beachgoers.
Dude, can you please send that to Christy?
The subscriber's pick. Everyone at the beach went into a state of shock when they saw a number of strange creatures at the shore of the ocean. They were without heads and had more than 5 legs, each with a different count of legs. Their unusual appearance made them look like crawling monsters that came straight out of the ocean. The beachgoers went straight to the authorities for help, who investigated the matter. We have witnessed those creepy creatures that were never seen before. If you've captured any such creature and wish to feature it in our videos, do share it with us. We'll surely feature it in the future. Thank you very